Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Taylor Thiesing.
And I'm Zainab Mohsini. For nearly a year now, the New River Valley has been debating the construction of a 300-mile natural gas pipeline that would run through southern Virginia and parts of West Virginia. Many in Blacksburg are actively resisting the Mountain Valley Pipeline as it could pose serious consequences for residents and the environment. Newsfeed reporter Alex Marinello has more on the story.
Since the proposal of the Mountain Valley Pipeline, concerned community members, local politicians, and Virginia Tech student organizations have come together to rally resistance to the possible threats of the pipeline. A demonstration was held on Saturday, March 21st, in order to educate people and bring awareness to the issues regarding the pipeline through music and various speeches. Those in opposition to the pipeline argue that it may have devastating environmental consequences.
I'm not a scientist, but I know that it poses many threats. There's a very huge potential that it could hurt the water. And in this area, a lot of people do get their waters from wells and springs and other things like that. So that is a huge problem.
The natural gas may also pose health and safety risks to residents who don't want the pipeline running through their property. Many local groups have been actively involved in protesting the pipeline due to environmental and health factors. One group in particular, the Environmental Coalition, has bbeen working to make a difference on Virginia Tech's campus.
We've been attending town hall meetings, so our first action was actually protesting outside of a town hall meeting when we were discussing this issue to let people know that it's the Virginia Tech students as well as the community around Blacksburg that are opposed to this.
Although students are typically less invested in the affected counties as compared to long-term property owners, many were present at the rally in opposition to the pipeline. A member of the Environmental Coalition, Millie Smith, spoke to her experiences in Blacksburg and her desire to keep the world a cleaner place.
The resistance rally had a large turnout and brought the community together in protest to the pipeline. This is Alex Marinello reporting for the Newsfeed.
The Mountain Valley Pipeline construction is planned to begin in December 2016, but protesters are hoping to continue to halt the gas company's efforts.
The Mountain Valley Pipeline may be a source of local controversy, but what exactly is it? Newsfeed reporter Pierce Sprague is in our newsroom and has more.
Thanks, Taylor. Though the Mountain Valley Pipeline has met resistance here in the New River Valley, the project seeks to bring improved energy resources to one of the last major markets in the United States without access to natural gas. The Mountain Valley Pipeline is a proposed natural gas line that would bring nearly 2 billion cubic feet of natural gas to the Mid- and South Atlantic regions of the United States per day. Current mapping proposals show the pipeline extending 300 miles from Mobley, West Virginia, through Montgomery and Roanoke counties to Pittsylvania County, Virginia. Its path would cut through a small portion of the Jefferson National Forest and over the Blue Ridge Mountains. Pipelining is often seen as a more economic option than its alternatives.
The idea that you're transporting in such a large diameter pipeline to try and get as much out as you can as quickly as you can, I guess it's the most cost-effective way to do it.
Despite allegations that the Mountain Valley Pipeline would do more harm than good, pipelines retain the best safety record of any method of natural gas transportation, according to the National Safety Board and U.S. Department of Transportation. The pipeline would significantly reduce the amount of traffic from train-based tankers in the area, which have been a source of controversy in the wake of several explosions in recent years, including one just last month in Mount Carbon, West Virginia. Most of these rail lines run along the banks of rivers, and any spillage from train-borne accidents can lead into the rivers and cause severe harm to the local environment. The project is slated to begin in December 2016, so there is a lot of change that can happen between now and then. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Pierce Sprague. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Pierce. In other news, to bring awareness to Virginia Tech's motto, Ut Prosim, that I may serve, Really for Life, and the big event created Ut Prosim Week. The week began with Spirit Day, where students were asked to wear their favorite organization's t-shirts around campus. Newsfeed reporter Tamara Brown has more on the story.
After Spirit Day, Ut Prosim Week continued with booths on the drill field and outside of Turner Place that had whiteboards where students could write what Ut Prosim meant to them.
Today on the drill field, we had tons of people stop by that we didn't know. A lot of core people and athletes, just everyone, all different aspects of our campus, writing what Ut Prosim meant to them. So it was pretty exciting seeing our campus come together for something that means so much to all of us.
Members of Relay for Life in the big event asked students to stop and write on the boards. They posted each student's response on their social media with the hashtag #ThatIMayServe. The third day of UPROSM Week consisted of a percentage night at Benny's Pizza. All of the proceeds will be donated to Relay for Life and the big event.
I think for both of our events, Relay for Life in specific, it just puts a lot more awareness out on campus, so getting a lot more people involved, a lot more organizations signing up, and I think overall, hopefully, we'll definitely see a change in numbers.
And definitely for a big event, it helps us with our fundraising efforts so we can buy more tools, so we can do more projects. And it also helps us with student outreach, so getting those volunteers to sign up is really important for us because without our volunteers, we wouldn't have an event.
UPROSM Week closed with a fair in the drill field with booths of campus organizations to advertise their philanthropies. The fair was a chance for students to get educated on organizations and the variety of service opportunities at Virginia Tech. This is Tamara Brown reporting for the Newsfeed.
Students can still sign up to participate in Relay for Life at www.vtrelay.org and volunteer for the big event at www.vtbigevent.org. The big event currently has 2,700 volunteers, and their goal is 8,500. Registration is open until March the 13th.
April 16th isn't an ordinary date in the hearts of all Hokies, and everyone remembers that day in their own unique way. Newsfeed reporter Allison Liebold has more.
The year 2015 will be the 8th anniversary of the shootings that took place on the Virginia Tech campus. 32 students and faculty were taken that day, and the Blacksburg community continues to remember those victims each year. Every April, the university holds an event called the 3.2 for 32, where community members and students can come together as a unified group and honor the victims by running 3.2 miles. Although the run is held each year, another event that was held for the first 5 years after the shootings was eventually phased out of the remembrance activities. A candlelight vigil where the community could come and remember the lives of each individual was held the night of April 16th until 2012. Senior student Ashley Graham talks about how she sees the run as a time of celebration compared to the vigil.
I do think it's good that the vigil was kind of like phased out, but then we still do the funner things like in memory of their lives and celebration like the run.
Sometimes Virginia Tech can have the reputation of the school that had that shooting, but senior Claire Wilson talks about how the vigil being phased out of remembrance activities helps with this stigma.
I think that it's good that the vigil is being phased out because it is a good way of saying that we've moved on as a community and we're not going to let this define us. But I do think that it's a good way to still have a fun time of honoring the victims to run the 3.2.
The race takes participants around the drill field, past the duck pond, through the tunnel and on the field of Lane Stadium, and ends at the steps of Burris Hall.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Allison Liebold.
Registration is currently open for this year's Remembrance Run. Interested participants can go to www.run.recsports.vt.edu. Just ahead on the Newsfeed, the wine culture class is becoming increasingly popular at Virginia Tech. We'll look at how this class is impacting wine tastings in Blacksburg and the companies who host them.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Newsfeed. There's a trend going on in the town of Blacksburg that we think the students, at least those over 21, might like to know about.
Newsfeed reporter Alex Perez has more on the trend and its effects on local businesses.
Virginia Tech is currently offering a course this semester called Geography of Wine, which has become very popular with more than 1,000 students currently in the class. The class demand has spurred many stores and restaurants throughout Blacksburg to have free weekly wine tastings for the students. However, with hundreds of students coming in for free wine each week, do these businesses really make a return on their investment? The Vintage Cellar, a wine and beer store off of South Main Street in Blacksburg, is one of these few establishments that offer free wine tastings for the students every Thursday.
I go to the Vintage Cellar wine tastings because I take the Geography of Wine course, and on Thursdays we have a tasting for our class from 10 until 7, and we can try 5 different wines, like different red wines and white wines, and we even get 10% off when we buy the wines.
These Thursday tastings are in addition to free beer tastings on Friday and another free wine tasting each week on Saturday. Professor John Boyer, who teaches the Geography of Wine class, has an arrangement with the Vintage Cellar for an exclusive wine tasting each week on Thursday, solely for Virginia Tech students.
There was a bit of an argument as to whether we were seeing a return or not, but we quickly crunched the numbers. We looked at how much we were pouring out and how much people were buying of the wines we were pouring, and we were still making a decent profit.
In addition, if the student buys a bottle of wine featured in one of the tastings, they get 10% off their purchase. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Alex Perez.
After finishing their final season, student athletes face the decision of what to do with their newfound free time. No longer having practice or conditioning allows for student athletes to choose whether they want to continue to spend time exercising and training or not. Some athletes try to get in top shape with the hope of taking their talent to the professional level, while some athletes like swimmer Harrison Cefello continues to train in order to keep in shape and to stay healthy.
I mean, I've been an athlete since I was 3 years old, I guess, if you want to call it that. I've been swimming since then, so being active and working out has been a part of my life forever, so I figured why stop, why change it? So I want to stay in shape, I want to stay healthy, and I want to be able to live as long as I can.
Staying in shape and training, however, isn't every student athlete's choice of spending their free time. Catherine Kane uses her time to focus on her studies and allows her to see her friends she used not to be able to see.
I have all this free time and I don't really it's nice in the sense that I can see people that I wouldn't have time for usually, but yeah, time management just comes second nature.
While they will miss competing, both athletes are happy to have more time to themselves.
March Madness is now in full swing across the country and in Blacksburg as the NCAA tournament kicked off its first games last week. Newsfeed reporter Kim Kodatek has more.
Many local restaurants are looking to capitalize on all the basketball madness. In particular, Buffalo Wild Wings off of Price's Fork Road is promoting their B-Dubs Baller Challenge by giving out prizes and encouraging their customers to use their tablets to take part in the Game Break fantasy games to fill out brackets.
Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, really big for us, busy. So, I mean, most of the games start on Thursday night. So we're going to be showing every single game. We have little neat tablet bracket challenges that you can fill out and have actually a chance to win money.
The madness does not just stop at local bars and restaurants. On-campus organizations such as Phi Sigma Kappa Fraternity are hosting March Madness-themed philanthropy events where participants can fill out brackets and shoot some hoops while they're at it.
So this year we decided to do a bracket challenge to really get people, not just sororities, but really the entire campus and parents and such, to try to help raise money.
The madness will continue until April 6th, when the championship game will be held in Indianapolis, Indiana. Until then, fans in Blacksburg and all across the country will keep their fingers crossed and be studying their brackets in hopes that their team will make it all the way till the end. Reporting live from Blacksburg, I'm Kim Kodatek.
Hungry students of Blacksburg, beware. You might wander into a local restaurant one night and be greeted by quite the surprise. Newsfeed reporter Dwayne Alford has more on special activities inside of one of Blacksburg's hot spots.
Once a week, the popular sandwich shop at downtown Blacksburg hosts salsa dancing lessons and Latin dance parties. This gives students an opportunity to express themselves culturally in ways that may not be able to. In addition to the salsa dancing lesson, Sycamore Deli also hosts local and up-and-coming bands that play live free shows for its patrons.
It's great for local bands. Students in this area don't get to hear that sort of music, and I think it's a great opportunity for the bands to play and the students to listen to new music.
Like the Fried Eggs, there are many bands in the area that are hoping to get an opportunity to play in front of their peers, whether that is at Sycamore Deli or somewhere else in Blacksburg.
It's really cool because you get to play for people around our same age, the music we made, and I think it'd be really fun to just share that with our peers.
Many local restaurants such as Sycamore Deli host under-the-radar events. Next time you might think twice when you're walking by a restaurant. For the Newsfeed, I'm Dwayne Alford.
For more information on special events at Sycamore Deli, visit sycamoredeli.com. That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Thiesing.
And I'm Zainab Mosini.